Alright, sorry I couldn't be with you in person, but here we are. Originally I was going to start my speech off with a question, but that's not a possibility now, so I'm just going to go right into explaining to you what I was originally going to say. My family and I celebrate Shark Tank Tuesdays. And on Shark Tank Tuesday, we watch a show on NBC called Shark Tank. And on this show, there's a group of entrepreneurs, and they pitch ideas to angel investors, such as Mark Cuban, the eccentric owner of the Dallas Mavericks. Huge personality, great guy, I love to watch him. Mr. Wonderful, who's huge into licensing. Sometimes he can be on the rude side, but he's still a very wealthy, smart man. And Lori, the shopping networks lady, she's a compassionate, nice lady. Love watching her. And one night we were watching this as a family, and this guy named Mr. Todd came on, and he had a great business, it looked like. He had pies that he sold, and he sold sweet potato pies. And the sweet potato was just his cash cow. I mean, he just sold tons of them, and he had an agreement with McDonald's to start selling there. And so he looked like he was very successful, and he was really exploding. However, he didn't make very good decisions with his money when he was starting, when he was early. And so he borrowed money, and he went too big too fast. He expanded. And that's why he went on the Shark Tank, because he needed money to help, and he needed somebody that could bail him out. And this is kind of sad to me because, you know, America always says, if you have a great idea and the passion to get it, you can do it. But I found out you actually have to have somebody teach you how to run a business, because that is necessary in order to succeed in this world. So I started to think, you know, what's going to keep me from these same pitfalls? What's going to keep me from making these same mistakes? And as I was researching for this speech, I realized what one of the FBLA goals was, and it was simply to create an understanding of the American business enterprise. And I really hit home with me, because they really do that. In my business classes, I can already see that they're laying down some core foundations in me that install good business character and good business ethics and decision making that some people might not have, such as not spending money you don't have. As we know, our government is finding this out. You can't deficit spend year after year after year and make money. You can't do it. And so this is something that Mr. Todd also had to learn, and he has now become a successful business. Building a revenue base before expanding, you have to have the money to do something. Mark Cuban, one of the sharks, is adamant. He says in his own words, debt is dumb. If you start off a business in the negative, it's going to be that much harder to succeed. You have to be flexible and specialize in what works. Mr. Todd's sweet potato pies made him 96% of his revenue. 96. The sharks looked at him and said, why aren't you just focusing on this? You know, you don't have to make something for everybody. You have to go into your niche market and use what works. And so that comes down to the FBLA teaching you to break down where your profits come from. You have to be able to use your resources and to study what works and then utilize that. And Mr. Todd realized this when he was with the sharks, and one of them did end up investing in him, and they actually became very successful together. One thing Mr. Todd did have, however, was he had passion and drive to make what works. And he was going to do whatever it took to make his business go to the end, because he honestly, truly wanted to do it, and he had the right work ethic. And that's why I'm thankful for FBLA, because when a young person has that drive and that want to succeed, FBLA will take them and sculpt them into being successful business ladies and gentlemen. They are putting core foundational truths that are hard but basic into American youth. And they're trying to take America and make it America the land of the free, and turning it into America the land of the opportunity. Thank you.